had it upside down. Look at that. Okay, there you go. You got the moon, you got the bridge, you got all the lamps, lighting, you got the flowers, you got the reflection in the water. Oh, this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And let's see how many colors this one has. It has 39 colors. That is magnificent. And look at all of how colorful this one is. Look at how colorful this one is. And I can tell they have the zip top bag, which is nice. And they have the DMC codes on here. And each bag even tells you the weight and the DMC code and what number it is on the legend. So that is so awesome. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you so much. And boy, this is hefty. But you know, to have such a beautiful picture, you need a lot of beautiful, color. And this one certainly has it. So let me wrap it back up. But again, this is gorgeous, and I can't wait to get into it. And when I do, I certainly will bring you guys along with me. Because you guys are my family. You guys are my diamond art family. You guys like to see what I'm doing. And I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea how important your friendship and your fellowship and your subscribing and all of that means to me. It really means the world. Okay, so we've got this one down and some more to go. Okay, next one. So let's see what we got here. Um, Now this one is a 40 by 40, so it's a nice size. It's a nice size. Okay. Now let's see what we got. It is a landscape. It's a night scene. You see the sunset in the back, which has all the reds and yellows, and you see the house with the lights on. See that? And then the reflection of everything in the water. I love that. I absolutely love that. I can't wait to do this. I think it looks so pretty having the reflection of what the picture is in the water. I just think that is so gorgeous. And let's look at, let's see, how many colors does this one have? This one has 23. And they're all uh, it's new. Well, it's not numerical. It's all it's all letters. They're in a kind of weird order, though. I will say that they're not in any type of alphabet order. It's kind of all over the place. But oh well, we can still work with it. And then here are your drills: crystals, diamonds. They're all the rich colors, browns and blacks and yellows. And something being colorful doesn't have to be, the bright pastel colors. You can be colorful with the rich earthy colors. And this one certainly is doing that. Yes, it is. And again, that's a 40 by 40. I got this one from TEMU. And, I know some people have something to say about TEMU, but I'm very pleased with them. I am very pleased. I have the majority, I will say, the majority of my diamond art comes from them. They Oh, I've done this one already recently. Okay, I'm gonna try and get a different one because this one I've recently done, and I want to show you something different. So, and I just, like I said, I just randomly was picking things, so I can randomly pick something else. Um, and this one is from Diamond Art Painting. Um, this is, let me show you the legend. Here's the legend up close, the directions, the picture, um, the DNC codes, it has the quantity and the weight. And I think that is really going that extra mile with diamond art painting to tell you how many crystals that you're putting in, so that way you can just go ahead and just add them all up if that's your thing. Which my son and my husband, not my son and my husband, my son and my brother-in-law, my husband's brother, have got me into counting my doggone drills now, y'all. Oh well. And let's see what this picture is looking like. Now, it is a 40 by 50. So, and you don't want to turn it upside down again. And you know, I say that me and my husband are a yin yang couple. And here is a yin yang picture with dragons and flowers. Now, I am not necessarily one for the dark art, you know, with the dragons and skulls and crossbones and stuff, but I thought this was beautiful. I absolutely thought it was gorgeous. So I absolutely got it. And isn't she lovely? Okay, yes, I love this. And it's a nice size. It is definitely a nice size. And let's see how many colors are we working with? 29. And 29 colors. They're all in individual Ziploc bags. Now I'm not going to open this one up because I see the Ziploc bag that has the black color in there, and it's probably color 310. That it opened up and it's loose in there, and I am not dealing with that mess until I go to kit it up and I'm putting it in storage. Then I will deal with that. But in the meantime, you can see all the beautiful colors, the reds, the pinks, the purples, the grays, and of course you got a lot of black because there's a lot of black in there. But yeah, I'm not going to open that can of worms until I really need to open up a can of worms. But the portrait is gorgeous, and I cannot wait to work on that one. It's going to be fun, and of course, I'll be bringing you guys with me on that adventure because a it's a pleasure to put these together. Oh, and by the way, my purple flower rose that I've been working on for the last couple of weeks, I delivered it today, and she absolutely loved it. She absolutely loved it. She said purple and sparkles are my thing. Um, you know, I said, are you going to put it in your office or at home? She said, oh no, I'm definitely going to put this in my house. And she actually is thinking about commissioning me to do a custom one of her and her son and of the New York skyline because her son lives in New York and she travels from Florida to New York to visit him. So, it may turn out into a little bit of a business venture, which I am not opposed to. I am not opposed to. So, if you are looking to get a diamond painting custom, uh, my contact information is in my profile. So contact me, DM me. Emailing me is probably the best way, or sending me a text message or something like that is probably the best way. And then we can talk about it. Okay. Now here is the last one that I'm doing. It is a 40 by 40, so it is not small by any means. Um, and I like this one. I really love this one. A beautiful black woman, Mother Earth. I'm calling her Mother Earth, Mother Africa. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll call her Mother Africa. Because look at all the animals and the trees. And, this is Black History Month, y'all. And we are going to celebrate what we need to celebrate. Hey, I think about Black History Month 365. So I'm certainly going to be talking about it during the month of February, whether you like it or not. So here I am, baby. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. Okay, so um, let's see how many colors are we working with on this one. This one has 30 colors, and I can see why. It has so much going on. You've got elephants, you've got her jewelry, you've got her beautiful eyes, which you've got red and yellow and green, like the colors of Africa. You've got blue and yellow in the other eye. I mean, she's just beautiful. And then her lips are a lot of different colors. We as African and people of African descent, we are some beautiful folks. We are come every color of the rainbow. Listen, in my family, I have people in my family that range from uh, passable. Like my mother's father looked like I met a man. No joke. I met a man when I was working for FEMA during Hurricane Francis and Jean back in 2004 and 5. This man was an Italian man from New Jersey. He looked like the spitting image of my mother's father. So much so that when I met him, I was starstruck. I wanted to take a picture of him and show him to my mother because her father had passed away like 13 years before this meeting with me and this man. And I remember I had an Aunt Catherine that was blonde haired and blue eyed. And back in the segregated South, she looked like card carrying white lady. Okay. Now, um, her husband, I don't even remember what her husband's name was, but her husband was a dark, dark man, way darker than I am, like blue, black, dark. And of course, during the segregated South, whenever they traveled, like he could have to drink a certain water fountains and to go to certain bathrooms and all of that. But because she was so fair, she could go wherever she wanted to. And I remember her telling me as a young girl that she chose to go the places that her husband could go. And that always gave me the utmost respect for her because she could have made her life easier for herself just because of how fair she was, but she chose not to because she was black even though she may not have looked it to some people, and she was going to do what her husband could do. And I always remember her telling me that, and always had a lot of respect for her because she could have made her life a whole lot easier, but she chose not to, you know? So, getting back to this, we come in every shade of the rainbow. In fact, you see my hair texture? It's very smooth. when my mother passed away, she didn't have any gray hair. I get my gray from my father. He had gray hair early. But my mother didn't have any gray hair. She was 77 years old. But she had a ponytail down her back. And my mother was very fair. Um, she was what we call high yellow. Yeah, she was. Her mother was dark. Um, you know, and yeah, I was gonna say, my mother's very fair. Mm. And but oh, and all my life, she said that we had Indian in our family. Whenever somebody would compliment my hair texture was like when I was 10, I had hair down my back. It's short because I choose to cut it short. And I've always said, well, I got Indian in my family. In fact, somewhere down the line, I found out just recently from my cousin Cherie. And by the way, we did do our Jessica and Cherie spilling the tea last night because this Jessica was sleep deprived and I needed to get some sleep. And I slept like 9 hours last night, which was unheard of for me usually. But my cousin Cherie told me that way back in our family, uh, when one of her great great grandfather or something like that on my mother's side married a woman who was a Choctaw Indian, but they didn't have any children together. So my mother had always told me, we're Choctaw Indian because of this step grandmother somewhere. So I always thought, we had Choctaw Indian in us because that's what my mother told me. Until recently, my daughter did one of those 23andMe DNA tests, called me up and said, you know how Grant always said we had Indian in our family? I was like, yeah, Choctaw Indian. That's what we are. She said, no, we're not. I said, yes, we are. She said, I have 0.3% Native American in me. I'm like, what? She said that she's like almost like over 70% West Sub-Saharan African. Okay, we black, I get it. But then she's like over 23% or something like that European. I did the 23andMe. I've got 0.6% Native American in me. I've got over 70% Sub-Saharan African and over 25% European. My son did it, 0.3% Native American. So apparently, my 0.6%, I gave half to him and half to her. And pretty much the same results as far as the Sub-Saharan African. Nigerian is the biggest part. And over 20%, 23, 24, something like that, European. So it's not the Indian in my family, it's the European in my family, I guess. They got my hair like this. But my whole life, long as my mother was alive, and she died 10 years ago, or it'll be 11 the next month, I thought, because she thought, that we had Choctaw Indians in us, and say it wasn't so. It wasn't so. But, anywho, so in my family, they range every color of the rainbow. From the lightest hue to the darkest hue. Okay. Anywho, this is a beautiful painting. I can't wait to do it. I'll bring y'all along when I do. And got a lot of drills. Oh, and it does have in here, it has a legend Let me open this up real quick. It has a legend in here. And it has the individual baggies. No, no, it doesn't. It has them like this. So you gotta cut them out. Um, oh, and I even marked like what day I received it on January 31st. And it has the numerical system, then the alphabetic system, and it has gives you the color codes and the quantity and the number of bags you have of each color. And one color, oh my goodness, one color you have 36 bags. Good googly moogly. Good golly, Miss Molly. That's what I gotta say to that one. But it's gonna be fun to do. They're all fun to do. I mean, I don't have one diamond painting anything that I've done so far that I haven't enjoyed. The last one was long. You know, that purple rose, it was my biggest to date. And so it took the longest amount of time. But now I know what kind of time 50 by 50 is going to take. And these 40 by 50s, and this one was a 40 by 40. I just got to know. I got to, they're going to take some time. But there again, if there's anyone who's interested in something in particular, hit me up. We can work something out. If there's something that I've shown that you're like, oh, I would love that when she gets that finished, hit me up. We can work something out. Because maybe I don't plan on doing it as quick as you would like it. So then if you talk to me, I'll put it at the forefront of what I'm doing. Okay? Now, I have so enjoyed this. This has been fun. I've showed you 4 canvases and 1 sun catcher. So 5 different things in 2 different ways. So it has been fun. I got one thing to say. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Pay it forward if you can. Why? Because paying it forward is great, y'all. See you next time. Bye bye.